Hello, mate.
Hey, mate, you alright?
Officer, what are you up to?
What are you up to?
No,
Don't
never
come
mind
so
what I'm
close.
doing.
What are you doing?
Why are you on private property filming?
What are you doing?
Why are you on private property
Because
filming?
I can't be calm down, identify yourself properly, officer.
Sorry?
Why have you got a hold of me? Why have you got a hold of me?
I don't know who you are.
Let go of me. You don't need to know who I am.
Filming.
Is that a crime?
From the very first moment, the officer reaches out and grabs the auditor's arm. Under Section 3 of the Criminal Law Act 1967, police are only allowed to use force when it's genuinely necessary, either to prevent a crime or to execute a lawful arrest. Neither condition exists here. There's no arrest underway, no active investigation, nothing that justifies physical contact. At this point, the action can only be seen as force without legal authority, potentially even crossing into common assault. That single gesture sets a tone of overreach before the conversation has even begun.
On private premises.
Is that a crime?
Yeah, you're on private property.
What's the crime?
You're on private property.
What's the crime?
Right.
Let me put that down. Yeah, are you doing something stupid right now?
I'm not doing anything stupid.
What are you doing? You've just grabbed hold of me, officer.
Yeah.
You've already
I don't know who you are. No,
behave
no, I
yourself.
haven't.
You don't need to know who I am.
Put your camera down.
What crime do you suspect me of committing?
You're on private property.
What crime do you suspect me of
filming
committing?
on private
I am.
council property.
I am. What
so I want to
crime?
know why you're doing that.
You don't need to know why.
Well, you're trespassing.
Right, is that a crime?
Trespass by itself is usually a civil matter, not a criminal offense, unless it meets specific criteria like aggravated trespass, which requires certain actions or intent. Here, the officer leans on trespass as if it were automatically criminal, using it to justify stopping or attempting to remove the auditor. The auditor's measured questioning exposes how easily officers can blur legal lines, turning the concept of crime into a tool for control, rather than an accurate reflection of the law. It's a subtle yet revealing example of authority being stretched well beyond its legal limits.
Civil trespass, you moron. Civil trespass,
call me a moron.
You are a moron.
Don't call me a moron.
Are you his colleague? Are you a police officer? No.
Can you put your camera down?
Why?
Because I need to speak to you. Why you're on private property
you can speak to me.
filming?
You can speak to me while the camera's on. This one's running as well. Can you identify yourself fully,
PC
officer?
Smith from Metropolitan Police.
Right, number, station. 3 points of identification as per Metropolitan Police.
When asked for the standard 3 points of identification, name, badge number, and station, the officer lets out a heavy sigh, visibly annoyed, before reluctantly providing the details. That reaction speaks louder than words. Officers are trained to give this information promptly. It's a fundamental pillar of public accountability. Hesitation or irritation signals ego intruding, as if following policy is a personal inconvenience. A small moment, yes, but one that reveals a lot about attitude, professionalism, and respect for the rules officers are meant to uphold.
Number.
Let go of
warrant
me now.
number.
Let go of
warrant
me.
number 236147.
Right.
I'm attached to Jubilee House in Putney.
Right. What crime do you suspect me of committing? What crime do you suspect me of committing? Can you get out of my space?
Why are you on private property filming?
I'm not on private property. It is open to the public. This is where you've made a massive mistake, officer.
You're
okay?
security
I am very familiar.
Filming.
I am filming. I'm doing it very openly because I want to. You've just come out of this building and grabbed a hold of me, officer. You need to be very careful how you move next. I will say whatever I want to you because you have literally just come out of this building and grabbed a hold of me, sir.
Calm yourself down.
No, you calm yourself down. You're the one that's came out and assaulted me. Do you understand? You put your hands on me. That is an assault and battery. Of course you've assaulted me. You've came out of this building and put your hands on me, sir. Right. That is assault and battery. I am going to have you in front of professional standards so fast your head is going to spin. Do you understand that?
All right.
I am well acquainted in what I can do. I don't need to tell you nothing, okay? So I think you need to wind your neck in and get back in your little office, mate, before you mess up even further, because you've already crossed the line, pal.
Right, don't shout at me.
I will say whatever I feel like.
Don't threaten me. Don't tell me what to do.
I didn't threaten you. I told you to go back in your little office and do your job properly and learn the law.
Don't worry about what I'm doing.
Telling me that trespass is a crime, you moron. You don't know what you're talking about.
Stop calling me a moron.
Because you are a moron.
Right.
What is trespass is a crime? I think you need to get on your radio and get some backup, pal, because you don't know what you're talking about. You need to get someone that does know what they're talking about, you fool. Absolute moron. Come and put your hands on a member of the public. How dare you? Think because you got a little badge, you got some sort of power? No, calm yourself down. You just put your hands on me. You have just come out of this building, put your hands on me, you fool. No one assaulted anyone, no one touched their hands on anyone, but you've just assaulted me. You've messed up to the next degree.
The rear gates.
You're going to get educated today, officer. Big time.
Islington Council offices on Laycock Street.
Yeah, you didn't expect this, did you? Why are you getting close to me? I think you need back back up me. You've already crossed the line.
What is your problem?
You've just come out of building and grabbed hold of me. You grabbed hold of me. You're a police officer. What is an assault? What is an assault? You're a police officer. What is an assault? What is an assault officer? What is a battery officer? You know full well I'm right.
Listen to the silence in this moment. Just minutes before, the officer physically touched the auditor, an action that clearly falls within assault and battery. When pressed to define those offenses, he offers nothing. That silence isn't accidental. It's tactical. By refusing to answer, he avoids acknowledging conduct that could be unlawful and sidesteps any risk of self-incrimination. It's a stark example of how some officers evade accountability, not through debate or explanation, but simply by shutting down and refusing to confront the facts staring them in the face.
Absolute moron. Literally came out of the building, grabbed hold of me, guys.
So would you like to tell me what you're doing here?
I don't need to explain nothing to you. You need to learn your job, pal. Alright? You don't know what you're doing. You're a liability to the public. That's what you are. So wait until your colleagues get here. They're going to educate you, and you're going to do what's called the walk of shame, pal. I guarantee it. I guarantee you that. You've already assaulted me, so I've got you on that. What is an assault? What is an assault? Go on, define an assault since you're a police officer. You just messed up, ladies and gentlemen. He keeps scurrying away, trying to hide. He knows he's messed up.
So what is...
I'm not really interested. I'm not really interested in talking to you.
Okay.
Alright, you're the wrong type of police officer that we should have in the police force. Okay, you're the sort of person that gets people hurt because you come out and you act on impulse and you don't take stock of a situation. Alright, you came out, you grabbed hold of me. You commit. It's on camera. Don't lie. You know, lying is a sackable offence under the Met's disciplinary procedures. You understand that?
The auditor is fully justified in challenging the officer's denial of physical contact, especially when video evidence leaves no room for doubt. Metropolitan Police standards are clear. Honesty is non-negotiable. Making a false statement while on duty isn't merely poor conduct. It qualifies as serious misconduct. Within the Met, lying in the course of duty can trigger disciplinary action severe enough to end a career. It's a stark reminder that truthfulness isn't optional for those wearing the badge. It's a fundamental expectation with real consequences.
Alright, because I will have your job off you. I guarantee you that. Because you're going to realise very, very soon how much you've messed up today. I guarantee you that. You've cost the taxpayers money, and you're going to find yourself in a disciplinary. Sorry, my love.
But yeah, no, he's fine to come in. That's fine.
That's fine, because we've got a call.
No, we just no, he's fine. Everything's
Fine.
That's fine.
It's fine now. Sorry, excuse me, officers. Just two things. Can I get the card number, please?
Yeah, it's 02.
02?
Of today's date.
Of today's date. I've got one question for you specifically.
Can I grab your name quickly? Yeah.
Sorry, I'm talking to you. That's very rude.
You can talk to me, sir.
No, it's for this constable specifically.
Okay.
So I'll wait till she's finished. It's very rude.
What? You're telling them. I can't really answer my information. Okay, just on that.
I also want to make a complaint as well
Against? Yeah.
for an assault that took place.
That's fine. Okay.
So my question for you is, do you regularly disobey orders from your commanding officers?
Well, I'm not going to answer that question.
Okay. You see this flag, you know it's banned.
Next, the auditor notices the officer wearing a prohibited badge, one that the Met has officially banned. This isn't a minor technicality. That badge carries historical weight and associations that are deeply hurtful, particularly to communities who have experienced prejudice and injustice. Displaying it while in uniform sends a troubling message, a disregard for standards designed to protect public trust. For a police force whose role is to uphold fairness, this isn't just an optics issue. It's a clear breach of respect and accountability.
Oh no, I've got a complaint.
What's your complaint, sir? Make a complaint on the police.
No, you're here now, so I can make a complaint with you guys.
complaint, sir?
I've been assaulted
Okay, when?
about half an hour ago.
Out here?
Yeah.
By who?
I don't know, a man pretending to be a police officer.
Did you get any shoulder numbers?
I got his ID, yeah. But he's in this building. You can go and investigate and go and get him out and speak to him about it. I can give him at a later date. I'll give you an email address. Not at this moment in time, no, I don't need to.
Well, we'll go now and check some CCTV.
Yeah, I've got camera footage here.
Okay. Do you have an email address I can contact you to get that camera?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah?
I would like that officer to remove the defaced flag though. It is the 80th anniversary of D-Day as well, so I find it even more offensive that she's flaunting that.
What's your email address?
Considering Sir Matt Rowley banned them throughout the Metropolitan Police Force, I think it's outrageous that officers think they can disobey direct orders from their superiors. So, 1 second. Sorry, can you remove that please? It's very offensive. Can you ask her to remove that? You're a detective constable. Are you ranking here? You're the ranking officer here.
We're all the same rank. We're all constables.
Right, okay. Can you not ask her to remove that? 80th anniversary of D-Day, she's wearing a defaced flag that's been banned.
Are you not willing to give any details other than that email?
I don't, not at this moment in time, no. Contact me by email, I'll provide it at a later time.
I'll contact you by email. And how did he assault you?
He came out and he grabbed hold of me. I asked him several times to let go, eventually let go, then he grabbed hold of me again.
Okay.
And kept hold of me, and I had to ask him to let go again.
Okay. And you have footage you're willing to send, yeah?
I do have footage,
If I
yeah.
send you a link, that'll be okay?
I'll provide that, yeah.
Don't worry.
You need to go and ascertain his details and
Yeah, I'm going to go and ask for
report him. He's pretending to be a police officer because he could be impersonating a police officer as well. He doesn't know any law or anything, so who knows? Short male, white male, maybe about 5'8", 5'9". He had blue jeans on, pair of trainers. He had, I think it was a sort of tannish, sort of greenish t-shirt on. Short hair.
Your name? How did you identify himself?
He showed me a badge. He did tell me his name. I don't recall it. He told me a number. I don't recall that. And he said he was attached to somewhere outside, out Putney Way or something like that.
Okay. Well, we'll try and have a look at CCTV, okay?
Okay.
Right.
Again, I was stood, just for your reference, I was stood about here. I'd walking down here, he'd come out this door, he was speaking to some people here, and then he came out and grabbed hold of me, which is assault and battery.
Do you have CCTV that you can use? I do, yeah. Do you mind if we
Where are we at?
So they're going to save their CCTV and send it. Are you willing to give your full details so that we can put a crime
If
report
you
on?
contact me by email, I'll do that at a later stage. I don't feel comfortable doing it now with all these people around that I don't know.
Do you
So
want to come down to the station and give your details?
no, I don't need to do that. I'll just do it via email. It's not an issue. I've done it before that way. It's not
Okay,
a
and
problem.
you want to take further action?
Yeah, 100%. The guys assaulted me. Did you get his details?
Yeah, I've got his details.
Have you? Right, okay. Awesome. Do you guys mind? I just need your guys' IDs if you don't mind.
Yeah. You've got my shoulder number.
Asked to provide proper identification, the officer wearing the band DeFaz badge responds with, "You've got my shoulder number," sidestepping the full identification procedure required by the Met. She even seems ready to walk away, suggesting the auditor submit a report online instead. Fortunately, another officer intervenes and takes the report immediately. Her approach comes across as dismissive and unprofessional, more about personal convenience or pride than public service. For someone in a role built entirely on public trust, this is a serious misstep that undermines credibility and accountability.
I've got an issue.
My
I've
surname.
got an issue with my
Roger,
eyesight.
PC Rogers, and my shoulder number is 5344.
What station are you attached to?
It's Islington Station.
Okay. Your colleagues don't have an issue with it. What have you got an ego for? What's your problem?
My that, and I can use my own number, and I do not have
Definitely got a problem. I'm going to ask you last time, can you remove that monstrosity of a flag, please? That bastardised flag that you're wearing.
We will contact you via email for the details.
Okay, I will have to raise a complaint because you are defying direct orders for Sir Matt Rowley, but...
That wraps up this breakdown of the incident. The footage highlights ongoing concerns around transparency and accountability in policing. Officers wield powers that can affect lives in an instant. Powers that demand fairness, integrity, and respect. By understanding how these encounters play out, the public can spot when boundaries are being tested and when they're being crossed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay aware, stay informed.